I'm KB Lewis, and this is Indigo Gumbo. I'm KB Lewis, and what made me write this book, Millennium Women War on Man Bully Tactics, Why Their Independence is Failing in Men in a Relationship and How to Be Empowered. What made me write this was, back in the mid to late 90s, I was married, and we were getting a divorce. And we were going back and forth. Sometimes you try to make things work. And my ex said something to me that threw me off. And what she said was, if I get back with you, I feel like I'm gonna lose my independence. And I thought that was a strange thing to say to me, and I didn't understand it, so I asked her what she meant. And she couldn't explain it. She just said it's something she felt. So that took me on a journey. Now, I had a service-based business which took me into homes. So when I would go into these women's homes, okay, I would notice that these women would have their own house, car, money, but there would be no man. So I started asking. I asked the question straight out, where's the man? Because I noticed a pattern here. And they would all say the same thing verbatim. I'm an independent woman, I don't need a man, I can take care of myself.
I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is a companion.
It didn't matter the race, black, white, Hispanic. It didn't matter the economic status, whether they was 100,000, 50,000, or on welfare. It didn't matter. They all had the same talking point. And it was, I'm an independent woman, and I can take care of myself, and I don't need a man. So I thought, this can't be a coincidence that all of these women who are different races and different economic status are saying the same thing. So that's what made me go on the question, started asking questions as far as, because it related to my personal experience. So I got my answer through them as far as why women were independent and why they have failed relationships. And I just thought it was rather strange that all these women were saying the same thing and they had no man. So I went to reading books, trying to see if I can find out what was the effects of women coming from being a dependent woman to being an independent woman. And nobody had ever done a study on it. So I figured, well, I'll do it, okay? Because this is a major paradigm shift, and nobody has ever done the study to see what were the pros and cons of it. How was this affecting women? So what I found in my research was the three sides of negative independence, which is selfishness, control, and competition. That's the part that men have a problem with, and that's the part that women are unaware of. The first thing that comes out of my mouth in my book is, this is a crisis of unawareness. I literally wrote that 25 years ago. The three sides of negative independence, I wrote that 25 years ago. So it's been out a while. And I saw the effects, and it applies to this day even more. But that's what made me start writing the book, and that's how I came to the conclusions. Because see, when I'm in the house with the women, it's different than interviewing them in a studio or work or on the street. But when you can see how they live, it's a whole different ballgame. So I got the real crux of what's going on with the independent woman in their relationship, because I was in the house with them. So I saw how they act and behave when it wasn't staged, or they can deflect, because they didn't even know I was asking the questions based upon that. I'm gonna tell you who had a major influence on women's independence. First, it was the feminist movement. Okay, but one particular person back in the 80s was Oprah Winfrey. She had a tremendous impact on women because it wasn't cable back then. So it was only like 3 or 4 stations. So Oprah was telling women, if you have a job, you don't have to listen to your man. She was literally telling them that. So men would come home pissed off. Like, don't interfere with our relationships, because women were listening to Oprah. Okay, now feminism came in, okay, and they indoctrinated, manipulated, brainwashed, and lied to women, because they got women to go against their own best interests, which was to be in a relationship with a man, okay, to be his support system, his partner, and his ally. But they got them to go against that to be confrontational adversaries. And what I mean by that is, when a woman says, I don't need a man, that's a confrontation to him. I'm gonna give you an analogy of what I mean. Let's say I'm a sports star, and I'm getting traded from the Knicks to the Lakers. Okay, I walk in the door with my new teammates, and I address them, and I say, I don't need you. I can score 30 points a game, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. I don't need y'all at all. How is my teammates gonna receive me? A friend or a foe? I think it's gonna be a little problem here. Well, that's how men feel, and that's how women sound when they say, I don't need a man off the top. Men automatically get defensive, back up. And our thing is that we look at the woman a little differently because, see, women are the sexual gatekeepers. They're in charge of sex. But men are the relationship gatekeepers. And that's the thing that the feminists didn't understand. They thought it was about money. They thought if they take the money out of the man's hands, give it to the woman, then she got total power. Because the feminists wanted to take control. The problem was they ran into, I call God's check, which means that everything have a check and balance. So when women tried to go around men with the money, they ran into a problem that men picked the women for the relationship, not the other way around. And I had a woman tell me, no, I picked. I said, no. I said, if you had your dream man, tall, dark, handsome, money, status, sex good, I said, let me see you pull a magic trick out and walk him down the aisle. How does that work? You can't, because he picks you. Men are the one who passes out the rings. Men are the one who asks the woman to marry him. Men are the one who approaches women. And the feminists didn't understand that. So women ran into a problem because they conflated sex with relationships. And that's why they failed, because they're trying to make it seem like the men have to bow down to their independence. Well, they ran into a roadblock. And that's why a lot of women are alone, and that's why they have failed relationships, because independence means separation, relationship means togetherness. You can't be separate and together at the same time. Oil and water, not gonna mix. Women move in groups, like a lion pride. The women stay together. So the feminists know it's easy to manipulate the women by putting one message down. That's why I said when I went into the houses, all the women had the same talking points, because it was filtered down to them to say, be this way, do this way. Now you have women acting in a monolithic group, because that's how women behave. See, it's like this. Let's say a woman is in a club and she meets a guy. She's gonna run the guy by the friends first to see if that's okay. Then when she meet the guy, go out on a date with him, she gonna run the guy by the friends, the family, everybody before she make a decision to be with this guy. So they don't think singly, they think in groups. So it's easy to manipulate that message. Submissive means, see, feminists take it for a negative thing. Submissive means agreeable. See, men want peace. Men want three things: food, sex, and peace from a woman. When you're submissive, you're agreeing with your man. You're saying, I'm a partner. See, women are support systems, allies, not adversaries. So we're looking for somebody who's on our page, on our level, and is gonna follow our lead, but we're gonna lead with respect. But we need her to follow. We don't need her to pull while we push it. And that's what I mean by submissive. I was married for 13 years. So, that was back in the day when women were not independent and you had men and women on the same page. And the situation is that today, a lot of men don't want to marry women because of the situation where there's nothing in it for them. See, marriage, if you go back, was invented for women, not men, okay? That's why men get their clocks cleaned in divorce courts. But it also gives women an incentive to divorce them, because marriage was invented to keep women off the streets, stop them from going into poverty, getting raped, and have illegitimate children. So they made the man take care of her. That's what marriage was invented for. It was never invented for men. It was invented for women. That's why when women divorce men, they get everything, again, to keep them off the streets and stop them from being raped and having illegitimate children. That's what it was for. The feminist movement, like I said, manipulated women because they move in a monolithic group. And they indoctrinated them, told them lies, and they separated the family. The first thing they did was kick the man out. See, feminism is anti-man. It's the antichrist to the man because nothing about feminism favors a man, okay? It favors a woman. Now, the situation is that you can't separate the two. The pro-woman, anti-man. Ain't no separating that. Okay, they go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. Ain't no separating. The situation is that feminism came in and drove a wedge through men and women's relationships. They don't want us together so they can control the women to get the power that they want to take over men and society. That's what feminism is about. See, the black women followed the white women. This feminism was about white women, not black women.
Right.
But black women followed because of people like Oprah and other feminists jumped in and say follow. See, Oprah is a feminist, but she's a black feminist. So black women followed the black feminists. But they followed her down a rabbit hole because we had a lot of good relationships that they drew wedges through. When you tell women, don't listen to your man because you have a job, what are you doing? Driving a wedge. The feminists set the agenda, pass it through the media passes through the women, and the women take the torch and run with it. I just want to say that there are a couple of platforms that launch their platforms off of my book, okay? And the situation is that's Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuel. They launched their platform off of my books. Everything they said in my books coming out of their platform is almost verbatim what they're talking about, okay? This book came out in 2018 and they launched their stuff in 2019. So they launched everything. I hear all of my book references coming out of their mouths. The millennials and Gen Zers are lost and they need guidance because they just out here just waving in the wind and nobody's directing them any kind of way and they don't understand relationships at all. They think these young girls who's Gen Zers think that OnlyFans or so-called sex work is normal. There's nothing normal about having sex and being a porn star or being a pro. I don't want to say the other word, okay? Nothing normal about that. They have normalized this stuff and they don't understand the men's still the same. They don't want it. This product you trying to sell us, this feminism, this masculinity and this this sex work stuff, men don't want it. So women are gonna be more lost, more in trouble this generation, and less babies, less relationships, less marriages because of how things are going. The older women are more in competition with the younger women and not teaching them. They're from their mistakes. That's a problem. Feminism been around forever, okay? It's just that women hit men hard now and trying to take power. And the problem is they turn men more feminine. Now they don't want these men because they too feminine, not gay, feminine. There's a difference. And these women are more masculine. So the roles have reversed. You got guys out here with hair bonds and bows and everything else. And the women got their hair shaved, they got tatted up. They look like the men and the guys look like the girls. Keep it real. Men have to step up to the plate and recognize they're being extinct. You're being weeded out, okay? You're being weeded out. Women that want to take power from you, they have. Men walking around on eggshells with women can't say anything. You're being weeded out. You better step up and start voicing your opinions and pushing back, because if you don't, okay, you're gonna be second-class citizens, but women don't want weak men.